773 Network. The countdown is on to a new era in New York news. 1010 Wins will be broadcasting in crystal clear audio on 92.3 FM starting this Thursday.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning, 55 degrees, light rain at 7:20. It's Monday, October 24th. I'm Lee Harris. Here's what's happening. More cops are getting assigned to the subway as yet another rider gets punched out and winds up on the tracks. A new poll has Lee Zeldin with a slight lead in the governor's race. There'll be another debate tomorrow night. A fire in the Bronx leaves 2 people in critical condition, but it would have been worse if not for some quick-thinking firefighters. There's been an arrest in connection with the discovery of a woman's body in a large bin sitting in a driveway on Staten Island. Somebody won an auction for a trip package, including tickets and backstage passes for a tour that Beyonce hasn't officially announced yet. Sports. Yankees will not be going to the World Series. The Giants and the Jets won, but the Rangers and the Islanders lost. That was active. Weather cloudy and damp today. Rain and drizzle on and off. A high of 62. News time 7:21. Time for traffic and transit and Karen Stewart.
All right, we are jammed on the Jackie Robinson Parkway. If you are going eastbound Jackie Robinson into Cypress Hill Street, we do have an accident there. We're jammed back to Jamaica Avenue. We've got westbound Jackie Robinson Parkway delays to Woodhaven Boulevard that are packed too from back at the Kew Gardens interchange. The westbound Bell Parkway is really jammed from pretty much the southern state now out into the area near Cross Bay Boulevard, and along the way the Van Wyck northbound is going to be kind of miserable to it. Well, it's going to be miserable, point blank, into Atlantic Avenue, and then we're going to be a little bit better up into the Kew Gardens interchange. The entire Staten Island Expressway on the eastbound side is jammed from center span of the Galpos Bridge out into Brooklyn on the Brooklyn-bound Verrazano Narrows. Here's what you need to know about bridges and tunnels. We're approaching 3540 inbound at the Holland, the Lincoln, and the GW Bridge. We got a lot of heavy New Jersey Turnpike activity getting up into the 15 interchanges right now. Alternate side parking rules and regulations, they're suspended today for Diwali. The meter rules apply, and still extensive delays over on the A, B, C, D, E, F, and M's, and now delays on the PATH line, Hoboken to the World Trade Center. Traffic and transit this time around sponsored by Cars for Kids. I'm Karen Stewart on 1010 Wins. Don't waste your time trying to sell your old car. Donate it to Cars for Kids. It's the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Donate your car today.
With Election Day 2 weeks from tomorrow, Governor Hochul says the state will help pay for more cops in the subway. From its various branches reports, it's not the first time New Yorkers have heard that more cops will be patrolling the subway.
More cops will be going into the subways. That announcement was made by Mayor Adams and Governor Hochul Sunday. The need highlighted by another random attack hours later. A 62-year-old man fell onto the tracks at the Grand Concourse 149th Street station in the Bronx. Commuter Sherry Hulk looks forward to seeing more police.
I would say potentially something may be done.
The victim was taken to a nearby hospital and is said to be okay. Although some commuters would like to see more police, Aldo Bueno from East Rockaway says adding more police isn't the only solution.
We need cops to do their job and stop acting like they're special.
Serious rising 1010 Wins at Penn Station.
With Election Day 2 weeks from tomorrow, Governor Hochul and challenger Lee Zeldin sat down with Channel 7 to make their cases. The governor was asked about her stance on crime, which Zeldin says is weak.
You cannot have a crime policy that does not address illegal guns. That is the power that a governor has. I support local policing. I tripled the amount of money for local law enforcement right here in the city and across the state. But what I can do most is to stop the flow of illegal guns coming into our state.
Zeldin says if elected, his first order of business will be getting rid of Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg.
Yeah, well, Alvin Bragg has pledged, starting on day one, with his day one memo, not to enforce all different kinds of laws across the board. Other laws he treats as lesser included offenses. We need a district attorney to understand that DA stands for district attorney and not defense attorney.
The candidates for governor will debate again tomorrow night at Pace University. Polls have shown the race getting much tighter in the latest poll taken by the polling firm Coefficient has Zeldin in the lead, 46-45, but that is within the margin of error. Former President Trump, not a fan of no-excuse mail-in voting, and he's reportedly been talking to lawmakers in Pennsylvania about getting rid of it.
First reported by Rolling Stone, there was a September 6, 2022 meeting in Trump's house with key allies about urging state Republicans to overturn laws which enable mail-in voting. Act 77 in Pennsylvania was upheld by the state Supreme Court earlier this year, irritating Trump and his allies about the prevalence of that process in the state of Pennsylvania.
Correspondent Robert Costa. Meantime, a judge in upstate New York has ruled that New York's mail-in voting rules based on fears of COVID are unconstitutional. Supreme Court Justice Dianne Freestone wrote in her ruling that the Democrat-controlled legislature appears poised to continue the expanded absentee voting provisions in an Orwellian perpetual state of health emergency, cloaked in the veneer of voter enfranchisement. A new ABC News poll ahead of the midterm shows Republicans with major advantages on major issues. Correspondent Rachel Scott.
According to our latest poll, Americans have more trust in Republicans on a key set of issues really across the board. We're talking about double-digit edges when it comes to inflation, the economy, gas prices. Inflation, 36% of Americans trust Republicans. Only 21% trust Democrats.
Republicans also have a slight advantage on immigration. Democrats lead on issues like COVID, climate change, and abortion, but voters in this poll rank those issues as lower priority. 55, light rain. We're going up to 62 in Midtown today. Wednesday is time 7:26. Now Bloomberg Money Watch, sponsored by Renewal by Anderson. Here's Steve Foden.
Well, if we're not already in a recession, Lee, we probably will be soon. That's the take from some top business economists. According to a National Association for Business Economics survey, almost two-thirds responding say the U.S. is either already in a recession or has better than even odds it'll be in one within the next year. Now, results of the survey also indicate slower demand and easing in labor market tightness and a slight moderation in inflation. It's a safe bet that we're just days away from another mega interest rate hike from the Fed. After hearing from policymakers in recent days, markets are priced in another 0.75% increase at the Fed meeting early next month. At the same time, the growing view is that the December meeting could begin a slower pace of increases. After Friday's Wall Street rally that capped off the best week since June, stocks may take a step back as shares in China have lost ground, but right now S&P futures moving up about 15 points, NASDAQ adding about 24, and Dow futures looking pretty good, up 138. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Steve Potus for 1010 WIN.
Renewal by Anderson just extended their BOGO 50 deal one more week. Before November 6th,
Well, there you have it, the news on a rainy Monday. Somebody has a case of the Mondays. So it's the Astros and the Phillies in the World Series. And of course, we have some more issues in the subways in New York. Oh man, I will never take the subways again in New York. It's so dangerous. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Monday morning, this rainy commute, and we'll see you on the next video.